He was not the light, but he came to testify to the light. One of the experiences around being a famous person is we don't think about ourselves. We're like, I'm in the presence of a famous person. I had the great gift of being around, or in the presence of John Paul II in Camden Yards. Maybe you had that experience where you're like, he is here. When Mother Teresa came to town, she walked right by me at Mount St. Mary's. And I'm like, Mother Teresa's here. We don't think of ourselves. We think of that person in front of us. And in some ways, that experience of Jesus, to know that when Jesus is in our presence, it's like God is in our presence. It's no longer about me. It's about him. John the Baptist knew that. His whole life was pointing ultimately to another. And he knew there's something freeing about humility. It's like, I'm not the light. That is the light. And let me point to him. So he knew he was not the light, but he came to testify to the light. Do you remember the story of Jesus' encounter with the woman at the well? When after this long encounter, she was so taken by it, she went to her town and she says, come and see the one who told me everything about myself. And the whole town got to know about her. And implicitly underneath that is, and loved me anyway, and loved me anyway. How many people just don't know that the light of the world reveals God's closeness, God's love, and his presence. And when you know that, it changes things. Like the woman at the well, you can't help but tell others. It's a game changer. How many people never knew they were known by God till they heard him call their name? How many people felt unloved or unworthy of love? And Jesus is like, I died for you. I died for you. How many people have experienced of being lost in life or being blind? And isn't that's where the song Amazing Grace comes from? John Newton, who had that experience, he was a slave trader and realized the depth of his sins. And what is his words that are proclaimed and sung in so many churches? I once was lost, but now I'm found. I once was blind, and now I see. I once was dead, and now I live. If the world were to know that message about what the light of the world comes to show us, we don't have to be orphans, we don't have to be lost. We can know in the depth of us we're loved beyond anything else. My brothers and sisters, we have something to share, like John the Baptist. We have something to testify to. And when we know it, really, really know it, know that love of God, how can we not share it? How can we not even, there's a famous word from Joseph Pieper, only the lover sings, or only someone who knows they're loved is able to sing, right? There's something how beautiful about that. Some of you might be familiar with a song popularized by the David Crowder Band, but it was written by John Mark McMillan, and it was called He Loved Us. And you can hear this is a person who's like a changed person who just can't help but just sing about how they were affected by the love of God, who's the light of the world. And what's the refrain in it? He loves us, oh, how he loves. And it sings over and over. Because when you're touched by the light of the world, how can you not testify to it? You see, John knew he wasn't the light. There's something freeing about humility. But he came to be the light, to testify to the light, and share the love of God in the world. May we do so too this Advent.